Hello, everybody. It's Uncle Matt, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. Tonight's bedtime story is kind of a sequel. We've read this last week, I believe. It's The Poky Little Puppy, Hungry Little Puppies. More puppies. And this book was written by Bruce Talkington, illustrated by Normand Chartier, copyright 1988. While the clock ticked and talked and ticked again, the tiny tummy of the poky little puppy rumbled and bumbled. His brothers' and sisters' tummies grumbled and mumbled. The 5 little puppies were certain that it simply must be time for dinner, no matter how many ticks the clock had talked. Pug was the largest and laziest of the 5 little puppies. He was certain that he could find an easy way to get dinner earlier. Rolling onto his back, he waved his paws in the air like flags and closed his eyes. Soon, he was dreaming of bowls and bags and barrels brimming with barky bits. Patty Cake was the smartest and the most practical of the pups. She trotted off to see if she could help Mum put some dinner into their food dishes a little bit sooner. Pickle was passing the time until dinner, trying to stuff his little puppy nose into a jar jammed full of a wonderful smell. As usual, he got himself into a pickle. Pip, short for Pip Squeak, was the littlest and loudest of the 5 little puppies. He skipped and hopped and danced from one paw to the other. Squeaking at the top of his voice that Pip Squeak was not a proper name for a puppy, especially not a puppy as grown up as he was. But since he was always squeaking about one thing or another, no one paid him much attention. Poky was the most curious of the 5 puppies, was far too hungry to simply wait for dinner. He decided that there must be a barky bits out there somewhere, just waiting for him to find them. So, with an excited flick of his tail, he slipped through a hole in the fence and was out of the yard into the wide, wide world far away from home. In the vegetable patch, behind old Farmer Feldman's big red barn, Poky found a long-eared rabbit named Ruby. Ruby politely invited the hungry little puppy to join her for dinner. There was a crispy crop of carrots, bright red tomatoes, and huge heads of lettuce. Fine for the rabbits, thought Poky, but he could not find a single bowl of the barky bits anywhere. Poky thanked Ruby anyway and went on with his search for dinner. In a field of fragrant wildflowers, Poky found Buzzbee, a busily buzzing bee. Buzzbee's non-stop humming reminded Poky of Pip's constant complaints about being called the pipsqueak. Then Buddy politely invited the hungry little puppy to join him for dinner, and Poky immediately forgot about Pip and his wish for a new name. There were bright black-eyed Susans, velvety purple pansies, and sweet-smelling roses. Fine for the bees, he thought, but he did not see a single barky bit blossoming anywhere. Poky thanked Busby anyway and continued his journey to find dinner. Dinner never came too early for the feathers. The skylark, after all, early is what a bird needs to be in order to catch a batch of wriggling, twisting, tangly, tasty worms. Wow, I'm going to try that again. That seems really tricky. After all, early is what a bird needs to be in order to catch a batch of wriggly, twisting, tangly, tasty worms. Think I can do it faster? Let me try again. After all, early is what a bird needs to be in order to catch a batch of wriggling, twisting, tangly, tasty worms. Probably the best I could do. Feathers politely invited Poky to join him, but the hungry little puppy thought the worms were just a bit too slippery and slimy for him. Poky thanked Feathers anyway and scampered off to find dinner elsewhere. Longlegs the frog invited Poky to pick up a lily pad to sit on and join him for dinner. Thrumming dragonflies would be the main course. But there wasn't a single lily pad on the pond large enough to keep a puppy floating on the water, and suddenly, whoops, Poky found himself up to the nose in water. Poky was now hummed enough to sit of almost anything. He tried to snatch a dragonfly, but its wings rattled and the hummed and tickled Poky's nose until he laughed out loud. It was time, Poky said to himself, to find a place where dinner tickled a puppy's tummy, not his nose, so as he had done many times before. Poky said, "Thank you very much anyways," and off he bounded to find dinner somewhere, anywhere else. By now, Poky was almost hungrier than he'd ever been before. He wanted something to eat as much as Pipsqueak wanted a new name. Stretching out on the warm grass, Poky wondered if then he would ever become or find upon a hunter. Let's try that again. By now, Poky was almost hungrier than he'd ever been before. He wanted something to eat as much as Pipsqueak wanted a new name. Stretching out on the warm grass, Poky wondered if he would ever find dinner. Then suddenly, Poky found himself staring into the glittering eyes of Sylvester the snake. "Why, hello, little puppy," whispered the smooth, slithery snake. "You've just in time for supper." "Oh, God," said Poky. "I am a very kind and hungry little puppy. I do hope it's something delicious." "Oh, yes," Sylvester assured him. "It's something quite tasty." "And what?" Poky asked anxiously. "Might it be?" "Why," said the grinning snake, "a poky little puppy, of course," and he flicked his tongue hungrily. This time, Poky didn't wait to say thank you very much anyway. He ran through the woods and the grass, past the frog pond, beneath the warm and worm-hunting skylark, by Busby's field of flowers, until Ruby's vegetable patch and things, the bottle, and through the hole in the fence to home. Poky gave his brothers and sisters a long hug, which included big puppy licks and lots of wagging tails. Poky told them that from now on he would very easily glad at the school at home. Poky told them that from now on he would very kindly wait at school until it came for time for dinner. That's good, said the smiling mum, because dinner time is right now. And there were 5 puppy-sized bowls filled to overflowing with scrumptious barky bits. Let's try that one a little faster. And there were 5 puppy-sized bowls filled to overflowing with scrumptious barky bits. One more time. And there were 5 puppy-sized bowls filled to overflowing with scrumptious barky bits. The 5 hungry little puppies joyfully chewed on and crunched and slurped and swallowed. When every bowl was licked clean, Mum surprised them with their favorite dessert, some delicious wolfies. You know, sighed a very happy and full Poky, waiting for dinner isn't so bad. Once all the winding and waiting is over. Pug, Pickle, Patty Cake, and Pip, whose full tummy helped him forget for a need how much he yawned big drowsy yawns, and cuddled close together. And as the door ticked, then the puppies all yawned big drowsy yawns and cuddled close together. As the talk ticked and tucked and talked and ticked again, they all felt very safe. Wow. I think that's all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. Even I'm getting a little sleepy. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.